Hi, my name is Nicholas Sloan Prosper, and she, me, her, we is a name that I came up with um, after watching, honestly, the Beatles documentary where they were singing I, me, my, and I was playing around with my pronouns, and my former roommate, who's like a brother to me, he and I were sitting down, and he said that that would make the perfect name for my YouTube channel if I put a we at the end of it, because um, I very often work with collaborators and I very often invite people to um, kind of voice my opinion off of, because I'm aware that my opinion is odd. And so when I say things and I try to explain my opinion, a lot of people think maybe I'm just being too much of an oddball and trying to make it sound strange. And I'm not, actually. I'm trying to explain the way I see things. Um, and the only way to really, really do that is with someone who understands how I see things and sees things differently. And we play off of each other better than if I were to sit here and explain things myself, like I'm doing now and failing miserably. Um, so, all of that being said, this channel is dedicated to my worked perspective on life and a lot of the things that are contained therein. I'm a music nerd. I like to think of myself as such because when it comes to music, I don't just sit and listen to music. I try to digest it all in one shot. And so when you say you introduce me to a new artist, and I say, wow, this is an amazing artist, and I love their song or whatever album it is that you introduce me to. Over the next week, before we see each other again, I will have probably looked up everything that artist has ever done, the artist's life story, their origin, where they came from, who inspired said artists, at least five of those artists, and I'll have some knowledge of their music and discographies, and I'll have a more well-rounded idea of who the artist that you were showing me or introducing me to is. By the time that you get back to me, I will probably know more about that artist than you did. Not because I'm in some sort of um, competition to get to know more about them. It's because I'm defective that way. I need to know. I need to know everything. I came across a video once, a music video for Pulp Babies, because an actor I absolutely adore is in the video, Lee Williams. And I was watching the video because of Lee, and I loved Jarvis's lyrics, and so I had to go back in. And while I love Lee, I set that aside, and I needed to hear everything by Pulp. I wanted to know what drove his lyrics, and so I found everything out that I could possibly find out about Pulp. And I am now a huge fan, and I own most of their music. And while I have not gone to see them live, that is probably only because since I found out about their music, I have not found out about any of their tours. Firstly, and secondly, a plague has hit our planet and decided to belay most of my concert going ventures. Also, I tend not to go to bigger concert venues. I like to see my artists in smaller venues where they can interact with their crowd and kind of banter off of each other. It's a much more organic way to meet your artists. Not even if, I'm not even saying specifically I want to meet physically in person all of my musical artists. One, probably impossible, and two, highly intimidating. That's not the case. I want to see how they interact in a smaller setting. I want to see how they hear how they sound in a smaller setting. I want to be able to feel the music as it vibrates through my body in a smaller setting, because that's not something I want to share with a larger crowd. For me, it's a much more intimate thing, the sharing of the music. It's not something I want to share with a couple of thousand people. Um, 2 to 300 maybe, five maximum. Um, 20 people, much more likely, but then you'll notice that I will be the person who shows up at the club a little late to the set while it's already in, you know, midstream or whatever, and then as the set finishes or closes or whatever, I make my way to the bar, grab myself a quick shot or whatever, and run out of the door because I don't want to meet the artist. Because to me, it's kind of a violation. Um, I don't want to confuse the art for the artist, because to me they are two separate things. I know that the art itself is the brainchild of the artist, but, and this is something that I do mentally, I know most of society doesn't do it because they can't seem to separate the art from the artist, but what if the artist is an asshole? And that's always on my mind. It's not because I automatically assume all artists are assholes. I'm an artist. I know I'm an asshole. But that's... I don't assume that all of us are assholes. I do, however, feel that if I meet an artist for whom I have expectations, this would be someone whose music I've studied for a certain amount of time, someone whose music I love and adore, someone whose lyrics I've picked apart and pawed through for months, possibly years even. I don't want to meet that artist, because meeting them might shatter an illusion that I have that they are more worldly than I might think them to be, or that they are more artistic than I think them to be, or maybe that they're more poetic, or whatever the case may be, that maybe they'll fall short if I meet them. And so I don't want to shatter that illusion, and so I try not to meet the artists. Except in those cases where the artist is a friend of mine and I met them first before I hear the art. Which leaves me in a very precarious position, because I love my friends, I do, and quite a few of them are artists. And I've gone to see quite a few of them play live, and a lot of them are really, really great. They're amazing, and I love them. There are a few, however, whose shows I specifically try to avoid. Because I'm that very honest friend who will sit there in the crowd and be like, wow, that was something. And you look like you have really had fun up there. And those are going to be the only two positive comments that I have, because then it'll be like, wow, the sound sucked, and you guys really didn't seem like you were playing together in the same band. Were you off somewhere mentally? Or I will make the commentary that you don't want to hear, and so you don't want me to be at your show. So I'm kind of like that. I don't know how to walk that fine line in between and just be the friend and go to the show and whatever. It's, for me, it's about the art, and so I'm all about it. Yeah. So all of that introductory information aside, I'm a writer. Normally I ghostwrite because it's easier and it pays more to write other people's books than it does to pay your own to write your own material. That being said, I have actually written a book. My book is WTFFTW. It's my autobiography, and the reason I wrote it is because I was a teenage runaway in the city of New York. And somehow I managed to hide out in plain sight for the 3 years that I was a fugitive minor in the state of New York. And when I wasn't hiding out in plain sight in New York, I was traveling throughout the states, road tripping basically, I guess, um, and having my own odd little misadventures. Uh, all of these odd little misadventures, mind you, happened to me during and after the fact of being adopted by nearly every gangster I ever came across. Um, I've lived an extremely odd and charmed life at the same time. Odd and charmed. Um, and so, after living an entire life of everyone sitting there telling me, well, you really should write a book about this, and you really should put this in your book, and you really should, well, I have. And so there's that. And that book has been written. Um, Outside of that, I'm not known for any of the other things that I have done. Um, I play piano, pretty decent. I play shitty guitar. I just do. I only just started playing guitar, and then after I started playing guitar, I just recently had carpal tunnel release surgery in my right hand, which is my dominant hand, and so I can't actually play guitar right now. So it sounds even worse than when I started out playing, although I can now fret, so I have some of the note going down or the chord going down, but it's not uh, it's not something that can be heard by an audience anytime soon. And so I won't be subjecting you guys to any of that. I will, however, be subjecting you guys to a lot of my strange ideas, my my ideologies, the strange perceptions that people have of me. I will be going through over a lot of those because people think that when you're raised by gangsters, there's no way that you can become a lady, and that's not true. Um, I'm a mom. I am twice divorced. Um, I've had a couple of other relationships, small smattering thereof. I try to avoid actively being in relationships for the most part because I'd rather actually know what I'm getting into, and for the most part, I kind of like fumble my way through the male of the species, and I don't get involved because I don't know what I'm doing. Uh, all of this will be explained, I'm sure, in all of the videos to come. Um, that being said, I will have a lot of guests on. I don't know when. I will have a lot of videos that are geared towards a topic, and so I will have um, playlists of specific topics in mind. And on another video I've uploaded, I think I've uploaded it already, I'm not sure. Um, but I will outline a couple of different folders for you. One I know is going to be the 27 Club. I know another one is going to be the origins of drugs and the blues and how that whole mess, well, it was just a mess for a lot of people, and I kind of wanted to highlight that and a lot of the careers that came out from the 1930s through the 60s and 70s, really. Um, so yeah, I hope that you'll come back. I hope you'll have fun with us. If not, well, other people will, and so I'll be inviting them to come back. You're invited to come back, but if you choose not to, well, that's on you. We'll have fun without you. I guess that's all I have to say on that matter. I'm not going to be doing my weight loss and exercising stuff on here because that's a whole other mess. But I guess we'll be talking soon. I'm going to be moving some of the videos from my old channel onto this channel, so some of the videos will be older and some of the videos will be newer, so if you notice a fluctuation in weight, please do not comment on it. Some of these videos will be older and some of these videos will be newer. I will start at some point to differentiate what's what and have everything start going chronologically, but in the very beginning it will be a little bit all over the place. I hope you bear with me and you will see what I'm trying to do here. Yeah, and I hope that you enjoy it. I know I will, and I know that I just have a lot planned for this channel, so I hope you stick around and enjoy it as I will. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye.